Okay, you all are probably going to hear a story called the Bugman story from Scott Lucas. I was the instigator of this story, so I'm going to tell you the instigator side of it.
No.
I had built a cabin up on Boone Lake, and it wasn't completely finished yet. But we were going to go up on the weekend and try to enjoy the cabin, and I had went to Walmart to pick up some supplies. On my way out, I was going through the toy department, looked down and had all these rubber toys. And I seen a very realistic looking bug that was about 6 or 8 inches long. So I decided to take this bug and put it up on a tree up there just as a joke, see what the outcome was. So I went up there and I took a nail and I shimmied up one of the trees up about 15, 20 foot and nailed that bug to that tree. Well, a friend of mine was going through a divorce, and he didn't have anywhere to go that night. He had stayed out late partying. It was a little bit under the weather from the night before. So he decided just to go up there and sleep on the porch of the cabin. So about 8 o'clock the next morning, I get this call, and it's the Bugman, or Scott, who was later called the Bugman because of this incident. He says, Fred said, there's a huge bug up here. I can't describe it. You got to come up here. I said, well, I'm coming up there later. I said, tell me a little bit about it. He said, well, it's about a foot long, and said if it flew, its wingspan would be almost 2 foot. And he said it looks prehistoric, man. So I knew exactly what he was talking about, so I was kind of leading him on, you know. I said, now Scott, I said, you know there's no bugs in this area over 2 or 3 inches long. I said, you're just still hung over. I said, you need to go back to sleep. He said, no. I said, well, could it be a bat or something like that that had lived there? He said, no. He said, mate. He said, you got to come up here. I said, all right, I just got out of bed, so I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to ease on up there. Don't touch it. You'll make it fly or whatever. So in the meantime, I get in the shower, and when I get out, the phone rings again. About 30 minutes has gone by, and Scott's on the other end, and he says, you low down thing. And I said, what's the matter, Scott? He said, why didn't you tell me this? And I said, what? He said, do you know that I've done been on the phone and called law? I've called the Bays Mountain people to come out here and look at this bug. I've called TVA, I've called TWRA, and he said we've got the whole hillside over here full of all these people come to find out that you put a rubber bug on a tree. Well, Scott can tell you the proceeds that went on during the time at TWRA and all that was there, because I wasn't there at that time. But they really got a kick out of it. And the funniest part of it all is that this thing was so strange that every time somebody was talking on the radio, that the whole department was listening in because they was amazed. Everybody was excited. Is this a new creature? Is this a new bug? So the whole department back at headquarters was listening in. And of course they were relaying messages. And when the deputy that finally eased on down the hill and found out that it was fake, keyed down on his mic and said it was fake, someone back at the headquarters, keyed down on the mic and was trying to talk. And all you could hear is about 50 people in the background giggling to the top of their lungs. So stay tuned for Scott's version of the Bugman.